Chapter 2. The apple has a necklace.
導く者は義務を負う。
Those who lead have responsibility.
武を司る男は己が血を継ぐ者に武器を与えながらこう言った。
Man who presided over strength spoke to his heir as he passed down his weapon.
お前は弱く良き者を守れる矛になりなさい。
That his successor must be a paragon of virtue to protect the weak. I just thought of something. Remember at the orphanage they said there was a couple that was teaching the people there in Korean self-defense and how to look out for suspicious people, and they had a son who moved out of town. What if that son is Lucas? I think that might be a possibility.
子は応じた。
His child responded.
わかりました。この力、決して使い方を誤りはしません。
I understand. I will not misuse the power you have given me. It's a new theory. So let's say Luca's parents are the couple in Koing that the orphanage was talking about. Based on that little bits, it's gonna tie in the story somehow. So what if I did have that theory that the whole Barreau thing is like a organization? What if Luke is somehow tied to this organization? Because when you mentioned wanting to go search for Barreau, or Lord Marabaddon, Lucas's eyes did go wide. I don't know if it's just because he was taken back by us wanting to do that. But the pause was a little too long. It was a little suspicious. Anyway, turning back time. Before the night the young maiden of death appeared. Anko, the watchman of death, stood alone in the Lycoris field, looking in the direction where she would appear.
ふむ。死に迫るパートナーとして彼を選ぶとは予想外だった。
I never expected her to choose him as her partner to face death.
さすがに彼に関しては私もろくな情報を得ていない。
Unfortunately for me, I have little information about him.
信頼足りうる人物だというのなら、目的を達するまで彼女を任せてもいいのだが。
I could let her handle everything if I knew he was a trustworthy partner, but something didn't feel right. Anka randomly plucked one of the black lycorises growing around him.
念のためだ。少し調べてみるか。
I should check. Just in case. After enjoying the flower's fragrance, he crushed it in his hand. He avoided the calamity that should have befallen him and disappeared from the field. A single lycoris petal fluttered through the window inside.
こうしてリライバーを生産する国立研究所とリライバーを否定するエクソシスト教団は
Next, The National Research Institute, which manufactures relivers, and the Society of Exorcists, which denies their existence.
ある教祖への代替わりを機に不干渉の協定を結び今日まで至ることになり
Entered into a non-intervention agreement when a society's minister changed, leading to present day. A gentle knock interrupted Lucas's history lesson. After receiving his nod of approval, I slowly opened the door.
授業中ごめんなさい。ゆか先生にお話が。
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'd like to speak with Lucas. Yes, just a moment. I turned around and looked at Lucas to signal that his presence was being requested. After a quick word to the students, Lucas walked over to us.
何か急ぎのご用事ですか
Is there an urgent matter?
はい。実は先日保護された子が個室で暴れていて、落ち着かせるのを手伝っていただけませんか
He's a teacher, not a babysitter. Yes, we're having some trouble with a child that arrived here yesterday. Could you help us settle him down?
あの子、リライバーになった母親にひどい暴力を振るわれていたせいか、私たち女性職員の対応では。
He was abused by his mother, who is a reliver, so he isn't very cooperative with the female staff here. Lucas's eyes narrowed at her explanation.
わかりました。すぐに向かいます。
Understood. Let me assist.
その子が普段気に入っているぬいぐるみなどがあれば用意していただけますか
If there's a stuffed animal or toy that he's fond of, could you please bring it over?
はい。大部屋からすぐに持ってきます。
Yes. I'll go and get it right away. As she hurried off, Lucas and I looked at each other and nodded. Yes, nothing better to spice up stirred and abuse.
皆さん、すみませんが先生は少しだけ席を外します。
But no, that would suck to be in an abusive family, and be a reliver. You'd literally be stuck in that family. There would literally be no escape. Excuse me, everyone, but I'll need to step out for a moment.
私が戻るまでは授業の復習か先ほど配った課題をしていただいても構いません。
And while I'm gone, please review today's lesson. You may also get started on the assignment we handed out.
はーい。
Okay.
ではセレス君、すみませんが子供たちをお願いします。
Now then, Ceres, please watch over the children. Yes, you can count on me. After seeing Lucas walk off at a brisk pace, I took his place at the front of the room. Now then, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to let me know. Although there may be some things I have to wait until Monsieur Proust has to answer.
そう？俺はセレス先生の教え方上手だと思うよ。
Really? I think you're good at teaching, Madame Ceres. Huh? Really?
うん。特に数学の計算問題。絵を描きながら分かりやすく教えてくれるし。
Yep. Especially math and stuff. It's easy because you draw pictures and shapes and stuff.
私先生の描いてくれた猫が数式を説明してくれるの好き。
I like when you draw a picture of cats to show us math problems. I like that way of solving math. Why didn't I draw pictures of cats to help me learn math? No, I would not. I would probably, no, not even probably, I would punch them. Like, literally, if I ever had a boyfriend who put their hands on me, like, in an abusive manner, I would punch them straight back. It would be horrible. It would be ugly. Still no. I do not stand for that kind of thing. Even sometimes. Because sometimes it's still existing, an existing thing. And it shows what kind of character they are. Oh no, I can play games that are messed up and still hold on to my morals and beliefs. Which is why, again, like in Mathis's Roots, if I were Cerez, I would have offed myself before I married the Mathis with what's Jean's personality. Because I hate Jean that much. Never would marry someone I hate, even if they're in someone else's body. Rather die. Back to the cats and the math problems.
あれかわいいよね。ねえねえ、授業が終わったら私の手帳にも書いて。
Oh, it's so cute. Hey, can you draw something in my notebook after class? Well, I could probably run away. It'd be difficult. I mean, I guess I could always just slaughter Jean and, unfortunately, Mathis. Because they had everyone fooled that we were happily together. And the island is literally probably the size of Hawaii. It's small. There's only so many places you can go. There's the Royal Guard, but the Royal Guard doesn't do shit. Literally, they don't do shit. Unless the royal family says for them to do it. But the royal family is selfish little pieces of crap. Who don't care about the people. So, they are not dependable. Yeah, their government structure is not dependable. The only ones who would come to help you would be the Karoon, the the group that Yvez and Adolf are part of that helps around, like, they're what the Royal Guard probably should be. But yeah, it's also considering Mathis' family is of high social standing. That also adds another factor. Yeah. You have only so many choices in this world. If someone pays to get punched, I mean, then they get paid to be punched, I guess. Here you go. Here's $50 to punch me. It's a, as long as they give the money, everything's all good. As long as they hold up their part of the transaction. Although not why someone would ask for that, I don't know. Oh, how much money would someone need to pay to get punched? Oh, pay me to punch them. I mean, if they're okay with being punched and they're gonna pay me for it, then honestly, any amounts. Although I prefer higher amounts. If you're fine with $50, then let's do $50. But if you can only afford 5, then sure, 5. Oh, for them to punch me. That's a different story. Let's see. Two different things. Either, like, somewhere in the thousands, or even millions, maybe. Maybe millions is a bit much, but thousands, probably, to punch me. Or, if it's anything less than that, I'm allowed to punch them back once. I don't want to be punched. I'm not gonna allow myself to be punched for like a measly $10. That's stupid. Even $100, that's stupid. Especially depends on who's doing the punching, because if they actually have some strength in their arms, then medical damage. I have to pay medical bills. If someone's gonna pay to punch me, they're gonna need to pay me enough to cover any medical bills that happen. Because I sure as hell ain't paying that. I'm winning nothing in that case. Anything less than that, I'm winning nothing. There is no positive in it for me. I just simply allowed myself to get punched to lose money. So yeah, enough to pay for any medical bills that happen. So broken nose, make sure you have enough money to pay for that, and you know it's America, so it's gonna be in the thousands probably, high hundreds for the medical bills. I've never had an actual broken bone, so I've never actually went to the hospital for a broken bone, so I'm not sure the actual cost, but I imagine it's somewhere around there. I imagine it costs a lot. But yeah, as long as you pay me enough to cover the medical bills and maybe a little bit more, then sure, you can punch me. Only if it's one time. But even then, anything more than that one time, no. But even then, with like a millionaire, someone filthy rich, they have power. I'm just a normal person. I don't. No, not once a month. I have pride. Yes, once. For money. Sure, I'll allow myself to be punched if it's a shit ton of money. But just once in a relationship. Anything more than that is unacceptable. Because besides, they're rich and and they're also my boyfriend anyway, so they'd be buying me nice stuff anyway. So it doesn't really make sense for them to pay me millions once a month. I just pay for all my Otome games and my gacha. My gacha spendings. Maybe take me on a trip to another country. I'm not asking for any Prada bag or anything like that. I don't really care about that stuff. So yeah, I won't even need millions once a month for that. Although they should know that they'll be sleeping on the couch that night. As long as they're okay with that. Yeah, as long as they're long as they're filthy rich and it's only once. And only one punch. No, I'm not even once. Because once, and then once is enough. If they do it once, they'll do it again. And I'm not cool with that. Even if they're rich. That one, because I value loyalty and trust a shit ton much. Like, trust is a huge thing with me. So if that trust is ruined, it's ruined for life. And I'm kind of petty, so I will hold it against them for the rest of their life. Honestly, I'm not quite sure, but like someone well off, like enough. They don't have to be rich, although that'd be nice, but like well off financially, Smart, good looking, nice, loyal, taller than me, which isn't asking for much because I'm short, and has abs. Okay, they don't have to, but that'd be nice. Well, I'm 4'10", so so it's really not asking much, but if they're my height or shorter, no, because I'm already short as hell. Then no. They need to have hair. Sorry, they need to have hair. As long as it's only 10 years older, then okay. But 10's the max, because, I mean, it's... Once you reach, like, mid-20s, age starts to matter a little bit less, but I'm also not going to date, like, an old man. Younger, I'm fine with, as long as they're of the legal age limits. Obviously. Although I would probably be accused of being a cougar, considering I'm 30. Which would be a bit uncomfortable, but I mean, yeah. But yeah. An older woman who goes after younger men. That's a cougar. Well, that, to be a MILF, that requires you to be a mother. I'm not a mother. I don't want to be a mother. That's another thing my boyfriend would have to be okay with. No kids. But then you're not a MILF. You're just you're an ILF. You're an ILF. The Lord's work. Alright. Let's get back to the game. So Kitty was asking us to draw a cute cat in her notebook after class. Sure, if you don't mind. But first, let's all focus on studying, okay? That's fine. If you have more questions, I'm fine. And with the chorus of cheers, responses, the children got right into reading their textbooks with renewed enthusiasm. It's so nice. My heart felt so warm. Being surrounded by the children kept me busy, but it was also fulfilling in a way. What's something that anime got you into? Me into? Let's see. Well, anime got me into anime, that's one thing. Also got me into, like, Japanese culture and stuff. Got me into higher standards than men. That and K-dramas. Yeah, also anime did lead to K-dramas. Well, actually anime led to K-pop, which led to K-dramas. It's a whole system. It leads to something that leads to something that leads to something else. It happens eventually to everyone. Borderline unrealistic, because I think they're all taken. What else to get me into? It got me into cosplay. I like cosplaying because of anime. And anime conventions and whatnot. I have on social medias. Oh, maybe I didn't on my Instagram. Actually, I should post my Leona cosplay on the Instagram. Well, that's mostly what I'm into, so. And most of my Instagram is like memes, or cats, or anime guys. And my TikTok is just anime guys and cats. But it's what I like. But just watch, once BTS makes their comeback, it's gonna be all BTS all day, every day. No, but you'll see a whole lot more of that. Oh, you might even seen it sooner. I got my gin and my sugar here. I got my standees. Do you even have to ask that question? You shouldn't even have to ask that question. I believe in them, they believe in us. This is No. I don't believe so. I think there'll be difference music-wise. I mean, they've all already done their own solo stuff and still been part of a group. Like in albums, in multiple of their albums. Like 5. They've each had their own solo song. And at this point now, they've each had their own solo album. Some have even had solo tours. The August D tour that I went to. Oh, I have no doubt. I believe in them. I have no worries. I have no worries about that. The whole will they get back together after Army, that's a whole that's the internet. People being the internet. They're not part of the fandom. They're Yeah, I'd have to let them go. I'm sorry. I'd have to let them go. BTS is love. BTS is life. BTS holds my mental stability together. Like, whenever I'm sad, literally listening to their music will help make me happy. It is literally a type of therapy for me. I am not giving up my therapy for a perfect boyfriend. Sorry. I have 7 guys who love me unconditionally. Oh, they don't know me, but, you know. Also, I have my Otome game, so yeah, it's good. And I'm totally fine with that. I would gladly share them with everyone. Because it's a family. No, literally, fandom is like a family. It's very comfy. It's very cozy. Also, that means I can have a full body BTS cardboard cutout in my house. And you cover my walls in all BTS. Because I'll be single. You really want to see all my BTS stuff? Here's 2 figurines. I have some more figurine things from like albums and whatnot. I have these posters back here. Yeah, you see them there. These posters here. I have the army bomb. The army bomb light stick. I have. Where did it go? I've got a candle. I've got a shit ton of photo cards in here. This is a hand warmer. It's Chimmy! I have banners from the projects at the concerts. Oh, that's actually a plus of having a rich boyfriend. If I had a rich boyfriend, they could pay for all my BTS concerts. I could go to every BTS concerts. Oh my god, that'd be awesome! Banners. Posters. We got Namjoon. We got Taehyung. We got Jin. We got Sugar. We got Sugar. We got Sugar. Sugar's my bias, if you can't tell. I have more posters. I have a crap ton of albums and DVDs. Yes, this is a DVD with pictures in it. It's really heavy. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. Well, I want them to pay for everything, but I want them to still be there. Otherwise, what's the point of them being there except for financial? I want both. But yeah, I have a lot of BTS stuff. I've been Army since 2017. Yes. BTS, any relationship that requires me not to love or listen to BTS, the relationship is non-existent. You're getting kicked to the side. I don't care who you are, how much money you have, you're gone. I mean, I probably would if I ever used a dating app. Because they have to like BTS. They have to be okay with BTS. If they're not okay with BTS, they're not worth it, because it also shows character. Kind of tells what kind of person they are if they don't like BTS, or, well, I mean, it's okay to not like BTS, but if you like hate BTS or like require someone to not listen to them to be with you, it says something about your character. Like, anyone who requires me to change, yeah, I'm sorry. If you want me to stop playing Otome games, I'm sorry, relationship over. You want me to stop liking BTS, sorry, relationship over. You want me to stop liking anime and watching anime, sorry, relationship over. Those are parts of my life that make me happy, and I would not change that for anything. Because if you ask me to change it for you, you are not worth it. And I'm not going to waste my time on someone who is not worth it. I have too much pride for that, to change myself for something like that. Oh, and also, if they don't do shit, like, they have to do shit around the house. They have to be actively, like, engaged in the relationship and in doing, like, things. Like, actually, they can't just be sitting on their ass, drinking a beer and watching TV. No, I will not go for that. I would not go for that. They need to actually put in efforts and do shit. Anything less, non-negotiable. You're not going to be rewarded just for resisting. Yeah, I might lower my expectations on anime men, but, I mean, they're fiction. They don't need to work, or pay bills, or do stuff like that. So yes, when I choose anime men, they may not always be exactly what I would look for in a real guy. Like, as much as I love Cyan, I don't think I could have an actual relationship with him. One, because he's demanding. Two, because he works 24/7. yeah, so I couldn't actually have an actual relationship with him. But he's a fictional anime character, so I love him. It changes things. Or if you have to be a workaholic, at least be rich. I know that's horrible to say, but, you know, at least leave me with enough, like, to go to a movie, or, like, I don't know, to go places. If you're gonna be working 24/7, I'm never gonna see you. If I'm never gonna see you, at least let me have fun. At least leave me enough to have fun. Okay? That's all I ask. Otherwise, nah, not gonna work. I know, it's weird, because in anime guys and, like, otome game guys, I seem to move toward the arrogant, handsome type. But in real life, I would hit them. It would not be pretty. Like, it would be horrible. That would not be a good relationship. Like, nah. No, like, what I want is Alkide from Love Brush Chronicles. That's what I want. I want Alkide. Or like Jack from Twisted Wonderland. He's actually kind of ideal. Like, no, I think he's actually the perfect example. My baby boy. I like a guy with morals. I like a guy who's, I mean, in the story, like, his kind, they only have one partner for life. So, literally means he would not cheat on me. So, loyalty. He's nice and muscular. He's a pretty good guy, honestly. And he's a little bit tsundere, which I find adorable, but not so tsundere that it gets annoying. It's just like the right amount. Like, very tsundere, but it's so obvious that what he means isn't what he really means. Or what he say isn't what he really means. So... so I wouldn't have trouble, like... trying to figure out what he actually feels. It'd be obvious enough. So yeah, he'd actually be ideal. He's actually ideal. My baby boy, he's up here. I have a plush of him. Killings? Well, he hasn't killed anyone. Now, Leona, on the other hand, I think he might have actually killed the students when he overblooded. And yeah, as a fictional character, I still love him. For some reason. I don't know why. Unless it happens in book 7. I don't think so. Or in the manga. I haven't read the mangas yet. But if he has, it depends on the situation. It depends on why. Like, was it out of cold blood? Or was it to defend someone? If it was to defend someone, then I'll forgive it. But if it was out of cold blood murder, I won't. Yeah, those are my That's what I look for. And that makes me so sad. I want him to be real. He's ideal. Although I could do without the ears IRL. That'd be weird in real life. I don't need those features. Just the personality and muscles. All right. I think I would. Oh, about the ears though? I mean, if he came to here as his character is, out of the ears pass, it'd be weird, but hey. He has all the qualities, so. Besides, rubbing soft ears every now and then might be fun. Alright, finish the rest later. Ah, 301. We're still good. Oh yeah, 5 hours. This is normal. I sometimes go 7 hours. We'll do a little bit more. Then we'll end it. Yeah, I do long streams. If you look at it, if you go to the videos and look at the timestamps. Oh no, yeah. I enjoy talking. I don't get to, you don't get to chat all that often, so. Yeah, let's get a little bit more into the game, and then we'll end it for the night. I do enjoy talking about anime and BTS. I'm looking forward to Solo Leveling. It's coming out soon. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm excited. I've read the whole manhwa, and I do have one volume of the manga on my bookshelf. I still need to collect the rest, but I love the art in it. I've read the manhwa online multiple times, start to finish. So good. I love the way it flows, like how you scroll down and how the battle sequence, it's almost like it moves. It's almost like it comes to life as you scroll up. It's so cool. Beautifully done. Amazing. Amazing creation. Which reminds me, I need to catch up on Omnipotent Reader? Point of view? I'm saying that wrong, but I think you know what I mean. I need to catch up on that one. I haven't caught up on that in a while. And also like that Trash the Count's son or something like that. I believe that's restarted up. So I need to read that. I have a lot of stuff I need to read. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. I have like so many manhwa on like standby. Like so many of them I read up until the points of when it was at the time. But then like years passed and now I have like a whole line of manga that I've started but haven't picked back up. So lots of villainous manhwa. I'm really into that genre. Alright, well, let's get this show on the road. Being surrounded by the children kept me busy, but it was also fulfilling in a way. A week had passed since I began this job. The children addressing me as a teacher feels normal now. I was happy that the children were now close to me, that they could actually treat me with affection. But I still hadn't gotten any leads into the Bureau's identity. I had listed some possible people that I suspected could be Bureau, but after looking into them further, I found that they led perfectly ordinary lives. None had the same physique or stature as Bureau. I was surprised there were no rumors about someone as skilled and powerful as he was. In addition, I hadn't seen Anko at all, even though I had been to the same part of the Lycris field a number of times. I wanted to know why he thought the incidents weren't over yet. With an internal sigh, I read the textbook in my hand when...
止まってください。部外者は立ち入り禁止ですよ。
You're not allowed here. This is private property. I heard a desperate cry from outside. Who? Oh, music. Curious, I headed to the window and looked out. Shut up, I'm his father. Private property, my ass. Yeah, he's here for a reason. This must be the kid that Lucas was asked to comfort. The kid's father. Yeah, sir, you need to leave. Your child doesn't need you. Huh? A tall man forcefully shoved the staff member with all his strength. She fell hard onto the ground. What the? With no regard for her whatsoever, he headed toward the entrance to the facility. I thought he might be a burglar pretending to have a child here, but he looked unarmed. Who was he? What was going on? Although the situation was still uncertain, my body moved to take action. Look at that. Yeah! Punch him. Everyone, go to the back of the room. I hurried them out of their seats and urged them to the back of the room, standing in front to guard them. A few seconds passed as I held my breath and stared at the door. The sound of the wall clock ticked on, second by second. Fierce stomping could be heard in the hallway, coming closer and closer. Dennis, your dad's here for you. I just beat up a woman. It's fine. You can trust me. One of the girls let out a scream. A large man kicked open the door to get into the room. Dennis? That was the name of the 6-year-old boy who always raised his hand to participate in class. He was right next to me, so I looked at him and asked, Dennis, do you know him?
Oh.
He's...
Otou-san.
He's my dad. Your dad?
そうだよトニー、お前のお父さんだ。あの連中が教えてくれた通り、この施設にいたんだな。
Let's let the child decide if he wants to leave with you, okay? He is here for an obvious reason. If you're not a fit parent, I am not letting this child go with you. I will fight you if I have to. That's right, Dennis, it's Dad! Yeah, you're here, just like they said.
さあ、俺と一緒に家に帰ろう。今日はお前の好きなものをたらふく食わせてやるから。
Let's go home. I'll make all the food you want to eat today. The man continued to speak as we looked on, dumbfounded at what was happening.
やだ、僕ここにいる。
No! I want to stay here! Dennis gave a sharp reply as he grabbed hold of my clothes.
トニー。
Dennis,
リライバーになるためのお金が足りないからって。
you said you didn't have enough money to become a reliver.
僕を散々殴って働かせた後、貧民街に捨てたのは。
Not a fit parents. Leave. 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 The door is that way. Leave. Isn't that why you hurt me and made me work and left me in the street after?
なのに今さら。何しに来たの？
I don't want to see you ever again! I finally understood the situation. I could see the reliver mark clearly on the man's arm, which proved he was a reliver. Despite his kind, regretful expression, I had seen enough from him to understand that he was willing to use force to get his way. Which meant...
ああ、リライバーになって脳に残った当時の記録を客観的に見て。
Yeah. I saw the past records that were stored in my brain after I became a reliver.
自分がどれだけ最低なことをしたのか、やっと気づいたよ。まさか自分自身を軽蔑する時が来るなんてな。
I know how horrible of a person I was back then. I never thought I'd see the day that I actually looked down on myself like this. The only drawback of being a reliver, though in science words, it was by design, was the loss of emotion due to an overload of memory during the reliver process.
金ならもう心配いらない。マルシェでの商売が成功してシュデイに立派な家を建てることができたんだ。
You don't have to worry about money now. My business at the Marsh is a huge success, and I bought a huge house in Cheddars.
だから
So
今の俺ならお前をたくさん愛してやれる。
I can give you all the love you deserve now. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. It's like the person who's like, don't worry, honey. This new venture I'm on is gonna make millions. Just you wait. Like, nah. It's not, no. Just leave the kid here. He is happy here. This is where he wants to be. You have scarred him for life. I think you need to leave. Please wait a minute. This is all too sudden.
なんだあんたは。
Who are you? The man took a step forward, and I instinctively pulled Dennis closer. It seemed his father lost the negative emotions he felt toward his son after becoming a reliver. So now that he was born without those emotions, he was here to bring Dennis back. I know there have been a lot of sad instances where strong emotions of love have been lost, but I'd never seen it work in reverse. While it sounded good in theory, judging by the fear in Dennis's eyes, I couldn't simply hand him over. I'm a teacher's aide here. I'm responsible for taking care of the children who live here. So I'm unable to hand him over to you, even if you are his father, without going through the proper process.
外にいる奴がそれを許可しなかったから、こうして直接迎えに来たんだろうが。
The stuff outside didn't allow me to get him, which is why I had to come here myself. Even more reason why I can't. I tried my best to maintain my calm composure, so that I wouldn't agitate him more. I decided to gently explain the process to buy some time and hopefully settle him down. In cases like these, we would need to assess the circumstances. Above all else, what the child wants takes priority. If the orphanage has declined your request, that means their evaluation led to the decision that the circumstances are not ideal at the present moment.
黙れ黙れ。子供は親の財産だろうが、それを引き取りに来て何が悪い。
And there it is. There it is, everyone. The reason why we will not let him back into your arms. They are not property. A child is not a person's property. They are your responsibility, though, but not your property. Shut up, shut up! Children are the property of their parents. What's wrong with reclaiming them? The man's face flared red with rage, despite my calm explanation.
さっきの女といい、過去のことを何度も何度も掘り返しやがって。
They're like that bitch outside. She keeps dredging up the past over and over again.
リライバーになった今の俺はあの頃の俺とは違うんだよ
Sir, let's take a little look in the mirror. Listen to yourself. You sound exactly the same. Not the same person I was before reliving. Yes, you are. The angered man quickly grabbed a vase from the shelf near him. Totally the same person. It was obvious what he was planning to do next. Dennis! I shielded Dennis with my body to protect him. Just as the man was about to throw the vase.
おやおや
What's this? A gentle voice reached out to the man, and then he had made no sound coming in.
いけませんよ。花瓶は花をめでるために作られたものです。
That's no good. That vase was made with love for flowers.
なんだお前いつの間に
What the? When did you? A delicate hand grabbed his arm. The man suddenly dropped the vase, sending water and flowers across the room. Luke. Monsieur Proust. Lucas smiled gently as he kept his grip on the man's arm.
お待たせしてしまい申し訳ありません。案内された部屋がここから離れていたものですから。
I'm very sorry to keep you waiting. The room I was in is quite a distance from here.
異変を察するのに時間がかかってしまいまして。
It took me some time to finally realize something was going on. He then looked around the room.
とっさに止めてしまいましたが、これは一体どのような状況で？
I intervened without knowing the details. Can someone explain the situation to me? Oh, well, I did my best to explain as simply as possible.
なるほど。あなたドニ君のお父さん？
I see. Then you are Dennis's father.
自らの罪を悔い改めたことは素晴らしいことですが、懺悔を口にした直後に暴力を振るおうとしては説得力がありません。
Being repentant is a good first step, but resorting to violence immediately after expressing your remorse.
違う今のは少しカッとなって
Wait, I just lost it for a moment, and
その些細な感触で子供の生死を左右されては困ります。
that outburst could have meant life or death for your child.
先ほどの経緯を聞き、あなたなら大丈夫だと安心して子供を預けると思いますか？
After what I just heard, do you believe it is reasonable for me to entrust your child to you with confidence? He spoke calmly and with reason. Getting the same response from Lucas started to quell the man's rage.
それと、これはあくまで私の予想なので、異なっていたら大変申し訳ないのですが。
Also, this is presumption on my part, so I apologize if I'm mistaken, but...
もしやあなた、ここで再会してから一度もドニ君に謝罪を告げられていないのでは？
Am I correct in assuming that you have not yet apologized to Dennis since you arrived? Huh? The man looked at Dennis, then at the teacher in surprise. I responded in his place. Yes, he did mention that he regretted what happened and that he wanted Dennis back, but he didn't apologize even once.
デタラメを言うなそんな当たり前のことを言ってないはずが
I didn't hear the words I'm sorry, so no, you did not apologize. You're lying! How can I not apologize to him?
言ってないドニ君のお父さんずっと怒ってばっかりだったじゃん
He didn't apologize. Dennis's dad just kept getting mad and saying mean things.
そうよそうよ、すごい怖かったんだから。
That's right. He's being scary to everyone.
やはり
I see. Lucas sighed in dismay, and Dennis glared at his father with teary eyes.
お父さんのすぐ殴ろうとするところずっと嫌いだったけど、前のお父さんの方がまだ良かった。
Dad used to hit me a lot. I hated it, but I still like my old dad better.
だってお父さんはあの時呪いのせいでもう寿命が迫ってたから、お金を貯めて生きようと必死だった。
My old dad was working hard to make lots of money so he could come back after he died.
僕を殴る時も泣きながらごめんって繰り返して。
He cried a lot and said sorry a lot after he hit me. Dennis buried his face in my clothes and continued.
僕を殴ったこと人事みたいに言うお前は絶対にお父さんじゃない。
You haven't cried or said sorry yet, which means you're not my dad. You're not my dad. Can't tell me what to do.
お前は僕のお父さんの偽物だ。
You're a fake dad.
僕の家族に近づかないで。
You're not my family. I don't want to talk to you ever again.
そんな。
But Dennis, even though he was abandoned, somewhere in his heart, he must have wanted to forgive his father because he still loved him. But that sliver of hope was dashed by none other than the father himself. Hearing Dennis's honest refusal, the man slouched and his strength left him.
どうかお引き取りを。
Please take your leave.
この子を前の自分と決別するための道具として利用しないであげてください。
Please do not use this child as a tool to amend for the sins of your former self. Sensing that things were safe now, he let go of the man's arm. After biting down on his lip,
すまない。
I'm sorry. With a simple apology, the man left through the doorway as Lucas escorted him out. After watching the man leave, Dennis and the other children,
決めた。
I knew it.
僕リライバーにはならない。あんな無責任な人になるなら23年で死んでいい。
I'm not gonna be a reliver. I don't want to be like him. I'd rather die at 23.
今度先生が授業で言ってたエクソシスト教団の礼拝に行ってみる。
I'll go to the Society of Exorcists that Monsieur Proust talked about before.
うん、俺も。
Yeah, me too.
私も。
Me too. They saw firsthand the changes that occurred when someone became a reliver, and they all reached the same conclusion. The man ended up being too disheartened to leave the premises. So the female staff he shoved earlier called the corpse to have him taken into custody.
施設に大男が押し入ったって聞いた時はびっくりしましたよ。偶然近くを巡回しててよかった。
I was surprised when we got a report that some guy barged into the orphanage. A good thing we were on patrol nearby.
ほんと災難だったな。子供たちに怪我がないのが不幸中の幸いか。
Yeah, it must have been a nightmare. Glad the kiddos are safe though.
ええ、本当に。
Yes, indeed.
一晩の交流で済むでしょうが、彼女や子供たちを怖がらせた分 彼にはしっかりと反省していただかなければ。
I assume a night of confinement will be suffice. I can only hope it's enough for him to atone for frightening the children.
だな。けどまあ、あの男も運がねえ。
Yeah. That's an unlucky situation.
いっそ子供を疎んだままでいりゃ、こんな騒ぎを起こさずに済んだってのに。
If he had just stayed away from the kid, none of this would have happened. Hugo? Are there a lot of relivers whose emotions and behaviors change dramatically after reliving?
多くはねえが、少なくもねえな。
I can't say either way, to be honest.
妹バカで有名な男がリライバーになった途端親愛を失い、妹にかける金が惜しくて殴り殺した。
There was a guy who doted on his little sister before he became a reliver, then beat her to death over money.
なんて悲惨な事件も過去にはあったぐらいだ。
Not the first sad case we've seen.
ああ、そんな暗い顔すんな。今のはあくまで極端な例だ。
Don't look so gloomy. The example I gave was an extreme case.
そうそう。現にヒューゴも何度かリライバー化してるらしいけど、面倒見のいい兄貴分のまま変わってないみたいだから。
Yeah, and Hugo's revived as a reliver before. But you can still see he's a great guy. I couldn't ask for a better brother.
お、褒めても酒一杯しか出ねえぞ。
Well, now, you deserve a drink for that.
やった。じゃあ次の飲み会でおごって。
Yeah, you're buying next time. The two of them laughed heartily to do away with the heavy atmosphere. After asking us a few more questions, Yves and Hugo headed back to the base. Considering what happened, there was no way we could continue to listen for the day. Dennis and the other children were taken to the common room by the staff to make sure they were all right. With only us remaining, we decided to clean the room, starting with the broken vase.
本当に君やドニ君が無事でよかった。
What would I do if two guys asked me at the same time? And that's a tough one. I'd have to gauge who is the better one. Before I chose. I'd be flattered, that's for sure. They're the same? Then I guess whoever's the better looking one. They're twins? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No, I'd make them, I'd put them to the test. Alright. Like, I don't know, who can take me on the better dates? And then judge by that. Individual dates. I don't know, I consider it. I'd give it a shot. Like, Like, when else am I gonna have two guys fawning over me? Sure, why not? Take it. One on each hand. I'm glad that you and Dennis are safe.
もしも君や子供たちが取り返しのつかない傷を負ったらと思うと、未だに寒気が止まりません。
I can't stop myself from shaking at the thought that you or the children could have been injured by that man. If a past ex asks you out when the current BF is being shit, well, depends what the past ex did and why we split up. And what kind of shit my current one is being. Like, if the past ex, if we broke up because he cheated, no, I'm not getting back together. If the current one is just being stubborn and arrogant, then, you know, maybe we can try to get past it. But if he's like being abusive or something, I'm letting him go. But if they're both like, under circumstances, I just let them both go. I won't choose one. Ex broke up on good terms, then I'd take the ex, maybe. Oh, it depends on what kind of shit the current one is being. Like, what did he do? Oh yeah, then I'm taking the X. I'll take the X. I'm not dealing with drinking issues. Because drinking issues always lead to abuse. There's always going to be abuse or fighting. Or they're going to spend all our freaking money on alcohol. And that's not cool. Nah, he had his chance. I gave him a chance to... at that point, I probably would have told him multiple times. Control yourself and your alcohol. If he hadn't, then no, I'm not getting back together. Lucas let out a deep sigh as he swept up the shards with a broom. Yes, I'm just happy that you came in time to save us. If only I could have convinced him or talked him into reason somehow.
いえいえ、最善の判断でしたよ。感情的になって相手を糾弾などしていたらどうなっていたか。
Oh no. You made the right choice. The last thing you want to do is reprimand someone whose emotions are out of control.
子供たちを守ってくれてありがとう。君ももう立派な教師の一人ですね。
Thank you for protecting the children. You become a fine teacher already. Without any warning, he naturally set his palm atop my head. No, if anything, it's Dennis who should be praised. I could only imagine how scared he was and how hard it was to see him again. Exactly, that's literally what I am. That's why it's gonna be hard for me to find a guy. That's what I meant by my standards are borderline unrealistic. I have strict standards. But yeah, if I can't, then, you know, my anime, my BTS, my Otome games, I'm fine with those. I got my fictional boyfriends here and I can have more than one of them.
そうですね。彼もとてもいい子でしたから。後でたくさん褒めてあげなければ。
You're right. He's a nice boy. So we should praise him dearly when we see him. After stroking my hair as though enjoying the feel of it, he finally moved his hand away.
しかし、何度見ても割り切れませんね。
Still, I can't say I'm used to such things.
教職についてからというもの、ドニ君とよく似た理由で親を失う子供たちを私は何人も見てきました。
Ever since I decided to pursue teaching, I've seen many children lose their parents, much like what happened to Dennis. I agree. I've seen some myself too. There were many children who lost their families because of reliver technology. Some children were abandoned after being abused by their parents, who lost their sense of love after becoming relivers. Some were born simply to work and make money for their parents, who then disowned them after having saved enough money. Some lost their parents when they caved into despair and killed themselves from endless reviving into unchanging lives. The reasons were endless. Unable to turn a blind eye to the situation, the country established orphanages to help. But there weren't enough, especially in places like the slums without any supports. Parents losing their love for their family was a bleak but common situation. It's pretty scary to think of what would happen if this country didn't establish and support the orphanages. That said, I wonder why the country hasn't created a law to protect children, rather than just build the orphanages.
今のアルペシェール王家では難しいでしょうね。彼らは基本的に自分たちの延命のことしか考えていません。
I doubt it's something the current royal family can do. After all, their focus is mainly on extending their own lifespans.
施設の増設と支援、リライバー技術を利用した犯罪の抑止、身分を問わない才能ある人間の研究所への登用。
Support for orphanages, suppressing crimes using reliver technology, hiring talented research staff regardless of background.
こういった民を思っての法律はすべて今は亡き唯一良識的な王族の一人によって制定されたもののようですから。
All these are based on laws that were established by a single member of the royal family for the good of the people. Ah, I think I heard about that before. There was only one royal who ever cared about bettering the lives of the commoners. Unfortunately, that person had a particularly strong curse that led to death at an early age. If they had survived, I wonder if the country's view of life would have been different today. even if we ask the royal family to change, nothing will actually change unless we as citizens agree to view that all lives have value.
ええ。ですが、私もまた
Indeed. But still,
この国の命の消費の仕方が間違っていると思いながらも、自分に何ができるのかわからないでいる。
even though I know that this country exhausts life is wrong, I'm not entirely sure how to remedy it.
教師として何とも情けない限りです。
Though as a teacher, I'm ashamed to admit that. He lamented on how powerless he felt. It sounded like he was concerned about how the children were swayed by adults. But I didn't fully agree with what he just said. I don't think there's anything that you should be ashamed of. During your lessons, you always encourage the children to think for themselves. You're transparent about reliver technology without hiding the facts. Which is why I think your students won't become relivers just yet. Instead, I think they'll consider their own wishes and treat their futures with the respect they deserve.
だといいのですが。
One can only hope. We finished sweeping up the vase shards. Oh, if I were to go back to when I was 18, what would you do different? I would do a lot of things different. One, I probably would have picked a different career. I think I was too hasty about my choice. I probably would have... No, I would have gone out more. I've always been a stay-at-home kind of person. I would have actually gone out and gotten my driver's license and, you know, went places, made friends. Like physical friends, not internet friends. Technically it is never too late, but it gets harder as you get older. Because a lot of people my age now have families, and those are their responsibilities. It's so possible, but it's a little more difficult than when you're younger. He tipped them into his dirty paper bag, and we checked to make sure nothing was left. After wiping down the floor with rags, Lucas spoke again.
君も疲れてしまったでしょ。今日の業務は終了にして、施設に戻ってゆっくりと休んでください。
You must be tired. We'll call it a day, so why don't you head back home and rest?
私は念のためドニ君の面談をしてから自宅に戻ります。
I'll talk to Dennis just in case, then head back home myself. Okay, good. Please take care, Dennis. But before I head back, would it be alright if I went to visit Nadia at the hospital?
ええ、もちろん。あの子もきっと喜びます。
Yes, of course. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you.
ああ、そうだ。それなら遠回りになってしまって申し訳ないのですが。
That's right. I know I'm asking you to go out of your way, but... He took out some papers from his briefcase.
こちらの課題を マティス君に届けてくれませんか？
Do you mind delivering this homework assignment to Mathis? Homework?
ええ、彼専用として作ったものです。
Yes, I made it especially for him.
ジャンさんから伺った通信学習よりもやや難しい内容にしておきましたので、きっと解きがいがあるかと。
I already told Gene it'll be a bit more difficult than what he studies. I'm sure it will prove to be a pleasant challenge. Hearing Gene's name reminded me of when I spoke to him at the marsh. After we met that day, Gene asked for a favor before we parted. Whether I could speak with Lucas to check on Mathis when he had a chance?
事情は分かりました。では後日、私の方からジャンさんに詳しい話を伺ってみます。
I see. Very well. I'll go and see Gene later and ask him for the details. With Lucas in agreement, we went to the Cloud family home the following day. Gene told us how Mathis was currently doing, and we decided to discuss how to help him. Lucas explained further.
仇を失った今の彼はやるべきことがないために無気力になっているのでしょう。
Yes, he is. The poor baby is having trouble. I believe he's at a loss of what to do now that his plans for revenge are no longer possible.
なので何かしらの義務や課題を与えれば少しは好転するかと思いまして。
So I'm hopeful that things will improve if he's able to redirect his focus toward the academic pursuits. I see. The questions you prepared. What are they about? What subjects are they about?
マティス君は物語が好きなようなので本の読解力を試す課題を組んでみました。
Makes sense, yeah. Because he did start writing a book in his roots. Since Mathis seems interested in reading, I centered the questions around literature.
こういった課題は個人によって回答が異なるので採点する側も見ていて楽しいのですよ。
Open-ended questions tend to invite a wide range of responses, so they're rather fun to grade. Well, I'll make sure the papers get to him. I hope Mathis will find them interesting.
マティス君も心配ですが君も帰りが遅くならないよう気をつけて。
I've been clubbing once with a friend. It was extremely awkward. I'm not the clubbing type. Like, I am so awkward at a club, it's not even funny. I stand there, kind of bob around to the music. I'll probably mostly sit at a table and slowly sip on a drink for the whole night. Because I don't know what to do. And probably fit on my phone. Hiking? There is hiking around here. I do occasionally go hiking. My parents love hiking, so we do go on family outings sometimes. And I do go hiking. When I go hiking, I do my photography. So I do that sometimes. Worrying about Malthus is one thing. But do be safe and avoid staying out too late. Like what? You just... On the hiking trail, it's like, hey, you like BTS? Most of them have their earbuds in and they're jogging. Or they're with another person hiking. I mean, there's a small chance it could happen, but I mean... Oh, no, maybe, but... It seems a little less less likely. Honestly, I don't even know where I'd meet anyone. I mean, maybe. I might be able to find someone to cosplay at a anime convention or something, but... I don't know. I don't know, I'm the type, like, I feel like I don't really fit in anywhere. It's like, I like various stuffs, but not enough to be, like, an expert on them. To, like, be really, really into it. Like, I don't know, just... I don't know, I just... I'm just the type that feels like they don't fit in. Quite often, I'm just there existing. Yes, you too, Lucas. I carefully tucked the papers in my bag and left the orphanage. I mean, I guess I could. Probably could at an anime shop, but there's no anime shops near me, so... Unfortunately. I think the best chance I have to find someone would be at a BTS concert. And be lucky enough to be in line next to someone who meets my requirements and is single. And actually have enough courage to strike up a conversation. Or for them to strike up a conversation with me. Which I don't get why that is. No one, like... It feels like I have to do everything. I don't like having to do everything. Dude, I have social anxiety. Don't force me to initiate stuff. And they have money to show up at the concert. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the best place I'd be able to find someone. I guess, but oh, it's difficult. It's all about finding someone who is single. And not gay. Maybe we'll see at the next BTS concert, whatever that is. Although that would mean I'd either have to find them in line and trade social medias, because I'd likely be with my friends at the concerts. Or just go to the concert myself, which would be a little lonely, but eh. I have like a stiff neck. Yeah. I'm just not good with social stuff. I have issues there. My conversations only go so far. I carefully tucked the papers into my bag and left the orphanage. They can go a decent ways, but there is a stopping point. I don't know how far they would go would depend on the subjects. The subject of knowledge. I overthink everything. That's part of my issue. I overthink and stress about everything, so... But also, a lot of stuff doesn't go on in my life, if I'm to be honest. I work, I eat, I sleep, I play games, I stream. That's it. I like BTS, I like anime, I like K-dramas, I like games. Like, I don't know what. I don't know how. I don't know how to go about those things. And I'll tell you my life story. I'm fine with that. Oh, I was adopted from Peru at the age of like 3 months or something like that. Put up for adoption at the age of like 3 months into a foster family, then adopted at like, I don't know, 5 months or something. Came to the States. I have a sister. Used to live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania kind of sucked. A lot of people were racist. This here. We moved to Oregon and middle and like 3rd grade of elementary school. Stayed there until I graduated high school. Went to a special ed high school. A certain period of time where we had family drama. So that was like a whole thing. That was a whole bunch of years. I rode horses. I tried many sports and arts and crafts. Honestly, I had like no hobbies until like high school, so things have gotten better, yeah. Then after high school, we all moved to, well, except for my sister, although she eventually did move to Texas with us. And went to college at the Arts Institute for baking and pastry, graduated with our certificates. Never made it to an actual, like, associate's or bachelor or anything like that. But graduated with that. Started a job Hated that job. Started another job. Hated that job. Cried lots. Had a mental breakdown. Got taken phone hostage. Took another job. It was okay, but then a pandemic hits. Found BTS. Met a lot of people. There was some drama that went on there, which that was a thing too. But I met more other people who were actually lived in the same city. And would go to concerts with those. Although I only met them 4 months before I moved here to North Carolina, unfortunately. Although I do still stay in contact with them. And we do still go to concerts together. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. I do photography. There's really not a lot to me. No crazy stories or anything like that. Yeah. Oh no, when I have conversations, they're extremely awkward. I might try that, but let's try to find someone who doesn't smoke, like, weed or vape. There's a lot of people here who vape and smoke weed. And I'm not about that life. I don't... And I'm also not about sports life. I hate sports. We probably try to start a BTS meetup. Unfortunately, there's none currently existing. Well, there actually is one existing, but it's inactive. But I think I'd have to start one and hope for the best. I don't know, maybe. I guess I could, but... I mean, I get a free dinner out of it, hopefully. So, even if it went horribly, which it probably would. At least I get food out of it. Is that how dating apps work? I thought you just like picked a person and met them. Is there a chatting feature? I've never been on a dating app. I've never dated, period. Oh, you do? Hmm. No, I didn't know that. Hmm. I thought you just put your information in, and it matched you with someone, and you met them in real life. I'm like, guess I could try it. I guess that could be a possibility, but Let's hope I don't get murdered on the first dates. I like imagine you go on your first date and you get like kidnapped and sold to the black market or something, I don't know. That's a great way to start off your dating life. Now, anyone who went through that would probably never want to date again. I have them bring me to an expensive restaurant. just as she left the orphanage. At the Institute in Cernaval, in a lab where relivers were manufactured, a clone's memory download was completed, and the body was activated to begin life as a new reliver. No. Okay, fine. Just as long as it's not a McDonald's. Like... if you're gonna take me to McDonald's for a first date, I'm gonna be a little bit hesitant about dating you. Not just because you're tasting fast food. Because that's kind of cheap for a date. That would have been fine in high school, but not as an adult. A clone's memory download was completed, and the body was activated to begin life as a new reliver. As he watched the dead body being dragged away by the disposal team,
ダウンロード終了までの時間17秒短縮。
17 seconds faster than normal.
ダート、データベースを更新しろ。次回メンテナンス以降、一月ごとの生産数を最低でも2体は増やす。
Donut. Update the database. After the next maintenance period, we're going to increase production to 2 units per month.
はいはーい。
Fine, fine. At his boss's command, Donut quickly fidgeted with the screen floating in front of his tired eyes. After updating the database, Donut started to jump up and down where he stood.
はあ、これで地獄の六鉄が終わった。やっとふっかふかのベッドで寝れますよ。
Yes! Finally done with 6 straight nights of hell. I can finally sleep in my fluffy, cozy bed.
というわけで、お疲れ様です、シアンさん。永遠にさよならお仕事。
He's like, I'm out! Bye! All done. See you later, Cyan. Farewell to work forever.
最低でも今日一日は起きないので、何人たりとも僕の個室には入ってこないでください。
Wait, you're gonna die? Once I'm tucked in, I'm not waking up. So please don't send anyone to my room or else I'll...
そうか、たったの6鉄か。
He's not
お
listening.
前ならまだいける
It's
な。
like only 6 straight nights. Only. Look, just because you can handle 9 nights doesn't mean everyone can, okay? You're not normal, okay? I hope you understand that. Okay, sweetie? I see, only 6 straight nights, I'm sure you can manage more. Just as Donut was about to prance away, Cyan grabbed him by the head to stop him. Fight! Fight, Donut! Fight! No. If you want to do overnights, do them yourself.
なに、誰ももう一徹しろとは言ってない。
これが終わったらどれだけ寝ても構わん。
What? I'm not asking you for one more night. You can sleep all you want once this is done.
この書類をエクソシスト教団が運営しているあの病院にいるうちの研究員に届けてこい。
I need you to deliver these papers to the researcher staying at the Exorcist Hospital.
わざわざクーネまで行かなくちゃいけないんですか？
Telling me to go all the way to Coing now?
というか、どうしてうちの研究員がよりにもよって反リライバー団体の病院に？
Wait a sec. Why is one of our guys at that darn anti-reliver hospital?
胃潰瘍で倒れたが、どこの病院にも空きがなかったらしい。
He got ulcers in his stomach at the time when the other hospitals were full. Yeah, I had a feeling that'd probably be the case. Yeah. I feel like that'd be tough. Because I would be in it for like a serious relationship, not just for fun. Which I feel like in your young, early 20s, a lot of people are just in it for fun. I probably need to put that on my profile.
Ah, なんて運のない。今頃肩身が狭い思いをしてるだろうな。
I hope. If I do go on a dating app, I honestly don't expect a lot of matches for me. I feel like I'm the type people do swipe. That's unlucky. I bet he's sleeping with one eye open.
僕もリライバーだし、絶対悪目立ちしますよ。石とか投げられたらどうするんです？
But I'm a reliver too, so won't I stand out? What if they pelt me with rocks?
いいからとっとと行ってこい。
It's fine. Shut up and go. Just kidding. Donut grumbled and was greeted by a hearty kick out of the laboratory.
もう相変わらず人使いが荒いんだから。
Jeez.
仕方ないな。
He really is a tyrant. What the heck? And yet I love him. For some reason, I don't know. Questionable taste. Donut set his lab coat down in his room as he muttered, then stepped out of the institute for the first time in days. He breathed in fresh air with gusto until finally reaching the hospital in Coing. He observed the patients with sideways glance as he walked through the hallways.
うわあ、視線が露骨。僕一発でリライバーってわかるもんな。でも思ったよりは敵少なめ？
Yikes. Everyone's staring. Well, it's pretty obvious I'm a reliver. but it's not as bad as I thought.
せっかくだし、ちょっとだけ病院の中を散策してみようかな。
I might as well take a look around the hospital while I'm here. Donut's mind was too tired to control the impulse triggered by his curiosity.
実は前からここ気になってたんだよね。一般患者の治癒率だけならどの病院よりも高いって聞いてるし。
I've always been interested in this place. I heard this hospital actually has a high recovery rate for ordinary patients. Their clinical studies must be top-notch. Amongst those who were staring, many probably detested relivers and were willing to accept their coming deaths. Donut breezed past those stairs and merrily walked through the hallway. He wandered for 30 minutes in search of rare ailments and unique medical treatments.
医療技術自体はうちよりずっと古い。けど代わりに医者たちの腕がずば抜けてる。
Their medical technology is way older than ours. But their doctors are really skilled. I can see why they have a high recovery rate.
個人的に引き抜きたい人がいたけど、命を尊ぶ彼らが作る僕らと相入れるわけないか。
I already found a few I wouldn't mind recruiting. But I doubt we get along since we have a different approach to life. As he continued to mull over thoughts, a stretcher appeared in front of him with a human body that had expired from the curse. As it passed, Donut noticed that the body was wrapped with incredible care, far more than was done for corpses at the institutes. Yeah, it just kind of, at the institute, they just kind of drag him off and throw him somewhere. It would probably be buried soon, with the bereaved family in attendance. Everyone would take great care to honor the human life that would never again return to them as a reliver. Donut found their beliefs to be admirable in a way. Still,
だからって何もかも諦めて惰性で生きるのも違うと思うけどな。
it's really a waste of the concept of life they value so much.
僕たちに反発するぐらいなら自力で23年生きてやるくらい言えばいいのにな。
Instead of protesting our technology, they should use that time to shout about living life to the fullest. Just as he mumbled his thoughts, Donut stopped as he heard a coughing fit from a nearby room.
ずいぶん激しく咳込んでるみたいだけど、喘息とか気管支炎の入院患者さんかな。
That sounds pretty serious. I wonder if they got a respiratory disease. He wondered whether he should call for a doctor, but there weren't any in sight. Unable to find it in his heart to just leave as though he heard nothing.
失礼します。
Hello there? Donut slowly peeked into the room.
兄様、それともサレス
Not quite, but
来てくれた。
he knows her. He knows them. Brother? Or is it Ceres? You came...
兄様って？
Brother? A pair of innocent eyes greeted him. The young girl was startled for a moment by the unknown guest, but she noticed the unique mark on Donut's leg.
あなた、もしかしてリライバー？
Are you a reliver?
そうですけど、君 セレスさんのお知り合いなんですか？
Yes, but you know Ceres?
知り合いじゃないわ。大事なお友達。
I don't just know her. She's a dear friend.
大丈夫？
Are you okay? Donna quickly moved to the girl and rubbed her frail back. I arrived at Clown Mansion to deliver Mathis's homework, courtesy of Lucas. Jean isn't here. I assumed Mathis was in his room, regardless of his butler's presence or absence, but if he was in his study in the attic, he might not be able to hear the doorbell. I don't know if anyone's around, so maybe I should come back later? I decided to head down a familiar road to go and visit Nadia at the hospital. Ever since becoming friends with Nadia, it's become a daily routine to visit her with Lucas and to share with her what happened that day. So this butterfly I've never seen before fluttered into the flower garden while I was cleaning up. I tried to catch it, but then it flew away. I wonder what kind of butterfly it was.
ちょっと意外。セレスって虫は平気なのね。
How surprising. Do you like insects, Ceres? Yes, I mean, it depends on the type. But I can touch them if they're not dangerous. I would actually look for caterpillars and raise them with the other children until they became butterflies.
すごいわ。兄様は逆。大の苦手なの。
Yeah, I'm not a bug fan at all either. I hate bugs. Although I've gotten better, I'm not as bad with spiders anymore. Not as bad as I used to be.
前に病室の壁に蛾が止まってた時なんて、兄様ってば虫が窓から出ていくまで壁にくっついて怯えていたのよ。
One time a moth flew in his room. He backed up against the wall and didn't move until it flew out again. Really? I can't imagine Lucas acting like that.
もちろん、兄様だって人間だもの。苦手なものの一つや二つぐらいあるわ。
He really did. I mean, he's human. You know? He has fears like the rest of us.
生徒やあなたの前では格好をつけてるだけよ。
He just tries to look good in front of you.
気になるなら、兄様のベッドに昆虫の標本をこっそり忍ばせて
That
み
would
た
be
らどう？
mean. That would be mean. No. If you're curious, why don't you sneak a little bug in my brother's bed?
きっとびっくりしてベッドから転げ落ちる姿が見られるわ。
I bet he'd jump out all surprised and fall off the bed. I think I'll pass. You know, you can be really mischievous sometimes, Nadia. She laughed adorably, her plan thwarted.
ねえ、セレス。ずっと聞きたいと思っていたのだけれど。
Say, Ceres? I've always wanted to ask you something.
あなたから見た兄様はどんな人？立派に先生のお仕事ができてるかしら？
What do you think of my brother? Is he doing a good job as a teacher? Rate my teaching skills. Yes, definitely. I think it's because he's a wonderful person. His lessons are really easy to understand. And he always thinks of his students first. He always keeps an eye on me since I tend to isolate myself from everyone. Nadia let out a sigh of relief at my answer.
よかった。兄様、ちゃんと母様みたいな先生になれたのね。
That's good. It sounds like my brother's a great teacher, like our mother. Mother? You're Lucas's mother?
ええ。母様は生きている頃、兄様と同じ先生として働いてたのよ。
Yes. When our mother was alive, she was a teacher, just like my brother.
この国では珍しいことでもないから言ってしまうけれど。
I might as well tell you everything since it's not unusual.
私たちの両親はもういない。何年か前に死んでしまったの。
Our parents are no longer with us. They died a few years ago.
母様はね、子供たちの未来を第一に考える立派な先生だった。
Our mother was a great teacher who always put the children in their futures first.
特に親がいないというだけでその子の可能性が閉ざされないようにって。
She was kind to every child, even the ones who didn't have parents.
養護施設への支援や質のいい訪問授業に力を注いでた。
She mainly taught in the orphanages to help support the children's futures.
父様もそんな母様を尊敬して施設周辺の治安維持に努めてたし。
Our father respected her and did his best to keep those places safe. Yeah, I think Lucas's parents are that couple that was mentioned before. I can see how your mother influenced the person Lucas is today.
ええ、きっと兄様もそんな母様の姿に憧れて先生になったんだわ。
I agree. I think my brother became a teacher because of how much he looked up to her.
でもだからこそ最後は喧嘩別れになっちゃったことを後悔してると思うの。
But that's why I think he still regrets having that fight before they passed away. Fights? I tilted my head as Nadia spoke sadly.
8年前くらいだったかしら。
I think it's already been 8 years.
兄様ね、父様や母様と大きな喧嘩をしてしまって私を連れて家出したの。
Ah, that must be what we saw in the opening bits. My brother had a huge fight with her mother and father, and he ran away from home and took me with him. Lucas? He ran away from home? I could hardly imagine Lucas leaving home with little Nadia as young as 4 years old.
誤解しないでね。少なくとも私は自分の意志で兄様についていったわ。
Don't get me wrong. It was my choice to leave home with my brother.
それからはずっと連れ戻そうとする二人から逃げつつ暮らしていたのだけれど。
After that, we avoided our parents and lived together whenever we could, but
その間に父様も母様も死んでしまって。
during that time, both our mother and father died. So you couldn't reconcile with them. Nadia nodded in response. They probably reached their age limits or died in an accident before they could do a backup. From the sound of things, it didn't seem like they would be reviving as relivers anymore.
だから私、
Which is why
兄様が母様への後悔や罪悪感で教師になったんじゃないかって少しだけ心配で。
I'm a little worried that my brother became a teacher out of guilt, to make up for it for our mother.
でも今のあなたの話を聞いて安心したわ。
But I feel relieved now, after hearing what you said. don't worry. I'm sure there'll be multiple reasons why you chose to be a teacher. Lucas is a very interesting person, and it's hard to guess what's on his mind, but he always looks happy when he's with the children. That's not something he would force out of obligation or regret. Oh, but I guess it's not very convincing coming from me. Nadia shook her head in response.
そんなことないわ。ありがとう、セレス。
Don't say that. Thank you, Ceres.
そうよね。兄様の心は兄様のものだもの。
You're right. That it's not just out of guilt.
後悔してるかも。なんて、私が考えたってあくまで想像でしかない。
I'm just imagining him feeling guilty, that's all.
だったらあなたと一緒に兄様を自慢に思った方がよっぽどいいわよね。
I should be more like you and be proud of my wonderful brother, right?
でも、あんまり兄様のこと神聖視しない方がいいわよ。
Oh, but don't go thinking he's some perfect person.
物をうっかり壊しちゃったり、意外と抜けてるもの。あの人。
He breaks things by accidents from being so clumsy and all over the place. I'll be careful around him. Our hair swayed every time we laughed with each other. Hearing all this about him, I guess I don't know the real Lucas yet. I wouldn't have known he had a younger sister like Nadia if he hadn't introduced us. Or rather, I probably wasn't making the effort to know. If I were more proactive in learning more about him, I might have been friends with Nadia much sooner.
ところで、さっきの素敵な人って。
Oh, Brugo. When you said wonderful person before,
もしかして男性としてという意味？
were you thinking about him as a man? She really wants her brother to get together with us. Uh-huh. Nadia looked at me with sparkling eyes.
前からずっと聞いてみたかったの。セレス、うちの兄様のことどう思ってる？
I wanted to ask you for a long time now, Ceres. What do you think about my brother? What do I think? What do you mean exactly?
鈍いのね。それともはぐらかしてる？恋人としてどう？
No, she really means it. You jokester. Are you pretending? I mean it in a romantic way. Romantic? I stiffened at the unexpected question, but Nadia was all too happy to continue.
我が兄ながら綺麗な顔だし、女性のエスコートも上手だと思うの。きっとあなたのことも大事にしてくれるわ。
I think my brother is pretty, and he's very respectful to women. So he'd take really good care of you.
だから、ね。
So, you know? You know? I had no idea how to respond to her question. He's a wonderful person. Well, yes, he's a good man and everything, but our relationship isn't what you might be thinking, Nadia. I think it would be inappropriate for a student like me to consider her teacher in such a way.
そんなことはないと思うけれど。
I don't think you have to see it like that. I tried hard to convince myself of it. And I doubt he's interested in someone like me. For example, he always pats me on the head. He just sees me as another one of his students.
そんなの照れ隠しだわ。だって
The teacher-student relationship. Kinky. Oh, he's just trying to hide it. After all,
もう何年も前からあなたのことを女性として好きだもの。
my brother has liked you romantically for years. My mind went blank. Just deer in headlights. True. With a bright smile, she picked up the diary lying next to her on the bed.
これはね、兄様と私で共有している日記。
Oh, to share diary. My brother and I both use this diary.
兄様は外に出られない私の娯楽になるよう、お見舞いに来てはこまめにその日にあったことを書いてくれるの。
He writes everything that happened each day, so I have something to entertain myself with when he brings it over.
実は私ね、あなたのことをこの日記を通して知ったのよ。
To tell you the truth, I first learned about you through the diary. Really? I could never have guessed that the diary I picked up that day contained stories about me written by Lucas.
さすがに名前
Lucas
は
writes
ぼかして
fan
あった
fiction
から
about us and him.
はっきりとは言えないけれど。
He avoids writing your actual name, so I couldn't be sure, but
兄様ってば多分無意識で、たまに日記であなたらしい人のことを。
based on what's in the diary, it sounds like the person he's writing about is you.
私の天使だ。愛おしい。
My angel, my beloved.
なんて何度も何度もとっても情熱的にのろけてたの。
He writes all these lovely words about his infatuation. Nadia held her cheek with embarrassment, as if she was the one being convinced to. Wait, what? But I was the one burning up inside. Was it really me? Angel? Beloved? Were we talking about the same Lucas? And for years now? That can't be true. Until recently, I was a terrible student who never once returned his many acts of kindness. I wouldn't have been surprised if he hated me, since there wasn't a single reason for him to love me. That had to be the case, but I guess a part of me wanted more. To just be a little closer to him than his former students. That would be more than enough for me. Despite who I was, I wanted more.
楽しそうだね、ナディア君。
Go away,
君の笑い声が廊下まで
Capuchin.
漏れていたよ。
We're having moments. Looks like you're having fun, Nadia. I could hear you laughing from outside. A calm voice brought me back to reality.
それにセレス君も、顔がやや赤いが、風邪でもひいてしまったのかな。
I can see Ceres is also... Your face is a bit red. Have you caught a cold? Hello there, Dr. Cappuccino. I'm doing fine. No need to worry. Have you come to examine Nadia?
ああ、脈の測定と採血をさせてもらいたくてね。
Just her pulse and some blood samples. Should I leave?
いや、すぐに済むから構わない。むしろ採血を嫌がらないよう、この子の手を握っていてあげてくれ。
No. It won't take long, so you can stay. If anything, could I ask that you hold her hand so she doesn't try to avoid the needle?
もう先生ってば、私そんなに子供じゃないわ。
I'm not a child, you know.
すまない。そうだね。君は採血をしても泣かない。立派な大人の女性だ。
I'm sorry, I forgot you're a young lady who doesn't cry about getting blood drawn anymore. Yes, I think Nadia is a lot more put together than other children her age. I remember being so scared of needles back then, but she handles them so well.
でしょ
Don't I?
ナディア君の度胸の座りようは兄譲りだからね。
Nadia is cut from the same courageous cloth as her brother. It does feel a little bit shady. Like, I feel like he's using her blood for some weird experiments, maybe? During our casual conversation, Dr. Cappuccino managed to quickly check her pulse and get the blood samples he needed.
うん。脈は問題なく安定している。熱もなさそうだし、ここ最近の君はとても調子が良さそうだね。
Your pulse is stable. You don't have a fever either. You've been doing well recently.
セレスと楽しくお話ししていると体の調子がとってもいいの。
I feel so much better after having a good talk with Rez.
いっそこのまま退院だってできちゃいそうだわ。
I think I could even walk out of here right now.
喜ばしいが寂しくなりそうだね。
I'm glad, but I'm still going to miss you. I couldn't keep from smiling as I listened to their friendly conversations. Nadia and Dr. Cappuccino. You sometimes seem more like friends than doctor and patients.
何？私が一方的に気にかけさせてもらっているだけさ。
Actually, she's patiently put up with my bothering her.
私はかつてナディア君と同い年の妹を病で亡くしていてね。
I lost my younger sister years ago when she was about Nadia's age. He has the like bitchy stink eye look. Bitchy stink side eye look.
ついその影をこの子に重ねて見てしまう。ナディア君からすれば迷惑な話かもしれないが。
I suppose I see my sister in her. Though I'm aware that I can be a nuisance because of it.
そんなことないわ。私だって先生のこと大好きよ。
That's not true at all. I like you a lot, Doctor.
先生はどんなに教団やお医者様のお仕事が忙しくても私の治療を優先してくれるもの。
No matter how much work you have in the hospital and the society, you always look after me first.
もう一人兄様ができたみたいで嬉しい。採血が多いのはちょっと嫌だけど。
I'm so happy to have another brother. But I don't think I like how you keep drawing my blood.
君の体を思ってのものだ。痛いのはわかるが我慢してくれ。
It's for your sake. I know it hurts, but please bear with. What? Suddenly the sound of a scream outside the window stopped him mid-sentence.
ナディア君の個室を教会から最も遠い部屋にしておいて正解だった。
I knew it was the right call to put Nadia in the furthest room from the church. Dr. Cappuccino muttered to himself as he looked at the rattling window. I couldn't hear very clearly, but I did recognize the cadence of the voice. Don't tell me. Another protest by the Society of Exorcists? Dr. Cappuccino sighed and nodded.
実はセルネボルの方でまたリライバー研究に進展があったようでね。
It seems Cernaval has made progress in the reliver research.
何でも来月からリライバーの生産可能数が増えるのだとか。
I heard they'll soon be producing more relivers each month. I see. I can see why that would upset your followers.
ああ、私もなだめてはいるのだが、さすがに今回ばかりは一般人たちまで巻き込まないか案じている。
Yes, and I've been trying to stop them. I'm worried they might actually cause trouble to the other citizens. It was easy to imagine the worst from those who had insisted with bloodshot eyes that relivers were demons. Dr. Capuchin turned around to look at me.
君は見るからにおとなしいお嬢さんだからいささか心配だな。
You're a docile young lady, which concerns me somewhat.
強引に勧誘される可能性もある。しばらくは礼拝時の彼らに近づかないことをお勧めするよ。
They might force you to join them. If you must attend church, I recommend giving them a wide berth.
万が一の時は、そうだな。この我が教団の経典を貸すから見せてやるといい。
Let me see. Just in case, here, this is the scripture of our order. So show them this if they approach you.
信徒たちは同志や入団希望者には甘いからね。うまくやり過ごせるはずだ。
The society treats their own very well, so you should be able to get by them without any trouble. I accepted a small book that Dr. Cappuccino weirdly took out of his pockets. Thank you very much. But are you sure about this, Dr. Cappuccino? I mean, I'd be lying to your followers.
何？信徒を御せぬ私が招いた事態だ。私にも少しぐらい創始者たる女性のような威厳があればね。
It's my fault not being able to control them. If I had the same influence as the woman who founded the society? You mean the founder of the society was a woman?
あまり知られてないが
That is
ね
surprising.。
もともと教団の起源もリライバーの否定ではなく。
Not many know it. When the order was initially established, it wasn't to protest the existence of relivers.
この国を蝕む死の呪いに抗う方法を探すため、彼女が設立した研究組織だったらしい。
The society was originally a group of researchers who sought a way to fight the curse of death. I never knew that. I don't recall reading about it in any of our textbooks.
私も知らなかった。あの子が聞いたらびっくりするかも。
I didn't know that either. I'm sure he'd be surprised to hear that.
あの子？
He?
そうそう。二人や兄様にも話そうと思っていたの。
Oh, that's right. I was gonna tell you two and my brother. Oh, she made friends with Donut, right?
実は私にもう一人お友達ができたのよ。
I actually made one more friend recently.
それは驚きだね。
What a pleasant surprise. He's so obviously pleasantly surprised. You can see it on his face. Do you not see how pleasantly surprised he is? Good for you, Nadia. Who is he?
この病院にお見舞いに来ていた男の子よ。私が咳き込んでいたところを心配してくれて。
He's a boy who visited the hospital. He came into my room when I was having a bad coughing fit. I could tell Nadia's happy voice. Then he must have been her first male friend. Since she referred to him as boy, he must be around Nadia's age. Not quite. I thought he looks young.
今日は帰ってしまったけれど、この病院にまた用事があると言っていたし、機会があれば紹介するわ。
He's gone home for today, but he said he'll need to come back to the hospital, so I'll introduce him to everyone next time. Time flies.
の短い間でお友達が2人もできるだなんて。
I made 2 friends already in such a short time.
私はなんて幸運な人間なのかしら。
I'm so lucky, aren't I? Alright, and I'm actually gonna end it here, since we're now on a new scene. So, because it is getting late and it's about my bedtime. Alright, well, you have a nice dinner, and I'm gonna head to sleep myself. Thank you for staying and hanging out, Genji. This was fun. Alright, well, that was Virche Evermore. We got through... We're somewhere in chapter 2 of Lucas's Roots. So we'll continue this next week. I have a feeling Nadia's gonna die. Poor Nadia. But yes, thank you all to stop by. And I hope you all enjoyed yourself. And I do hope to see you all again. Yeah, she sounds too nice. She's too sweet for this game. She's too sweet. The sweet ones don't survive here. Especially the siblings. But more Virche Evermore next week. Tomorrow is, I think, Speakeasy. And then I have my anime nights, and then a day off. Unless I decide to put something there. Yep, it's Dark Romance, not fairy tales with happy endings. From what I hear, even the Salvation endings aren't always happy. Salvation is not always a happy ending, apparently. But we'll end it here. And I am gonna go get some sleepies. Okay. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, or night. And I'll see y'all later. Bye, bye-bye.